Phil Mickelson is one of the most controversial golfers right now. He was under fire from another LIV golfer not long ago, and it wasn't a pretty sight. And just when you thought he'd lay low, he's collecting jabs from Rory McIlroy. So why has Rory McIlroy decided to pick on Phil Mickelson, and how does he react? Stay tuned for further information. But remember to subscribe so that you never miss any golf news. Phil Mickelson didn't want to disturb what was going on at the LIV Golf Team Championship at Trump National Doral in Miami. Still, a recent Rory McIlroy interview was too juicy to pass up. Mickelson praised McIlroy during a press conference ahead of the season finals of the upstart circuit, saying the we versus them attitude between LIV Golf and players on the PGA and DP World circuits had grown out of hand.
You know, I think a lot of Rory. I really have the utmost respect for him, and I look at what he's done in the game and how he's played this year and his win last week and #1 in the world now, and I have a ton of respect for him. And we'll have, as players here, 3 months off after this event to talk about things like that and so forth. But this week something's happening that I don't want to deflect focus on, which is we've never had a team event like this in professional golf.
McIlroy, on the other hand, called Mickelson's recent assertion that LIV Golf is growing upwards while the PGA Tour is sliding downwards propaganda.
Maybe I shouldn't have said stuff like that, I don't know, but if I'm just looking at LIV Golf and where we are today to where we were 6-7 months ago, and people are saying this is dead in the water and we're past that, and here we are today, a force in the game that's not going away, that has players of this caliber that are moving professional golf throughout the world, and the excitement level in the countries around the world of having some of the best players in the game of golf coming to their country and competing. It's pretty remarkable how far LIV Golf has come in the last 6-7 months. I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
The Greg Norman-led enterprise is financially supported by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, which have spared no cost. Building a new golf series is complex, but LIV have attracted some of the game's top players like Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau, and Cameron Smith. However, when you have hundreds of millions of dollars to just toss about, the issues that come with developing a business become less difficult. According to Sports Illustrated, LIV Golf spent $784 million in its first year, with another $1 billion pledged for next year when the series expands to a 14-event league. In terms of global enthusiasm, LIV has staged 8 events so far in the United States, England, Thailand, and Saudi Arabia. But that's not all. McIlroy also expressed betrayal over LIV players jeopardizing their Ryder Cup careers, stating that Graham McDowell had a chance to lead the Europeans in 2027 and that the legacies of Sergio Garcia, Ian Poulter, and of course Lee Westwood are mostly focused on the biannual clash with the Americans.
A betrayal. I mean, we can still qualify for the team, as far as I'm aware. Unless we've been told we can't qualify, then I'm still ready to play as much as I possibly can and try and make that team. Yeah, I mean, look, my commitment to the Ryder Cup, I think, goes before me. I don't think that should ever come in question. I've always wanted to play Ryder Cups and play with as much passion as anyone else that I've ever seen play a Ryder Cup. So, I don't know where that comment's really come from, to be honest. So.
Meanwhile, regardless of the harsh comments that Rory McIlroy has directed towards Phil Mickelson and LIV, it doesn't change the fact that Mickelson believes that LIV is a force to be reckoned with. But we must know what caused Rory McIlroy to even think of throwing jabs at Phil Mickelson in the first place. What could have led to this sour relationship? Rory McIlroy says that Phil Mickelson's comments on PGA Tour and LIV Golf aren't logical. Rory McIlroy and Phil Mickelson's verbal spat began not long ago, with the PGA Tour player disagreeing with Lefty's assessment of men's professional golf condition. Before the LIV Golf event in Saudi Arabia, Mickelson stated that joining the new circuit had put him on the superior side of how things are going to grow and form in future years for professional golf. McIlroy argued to reporters before the CJ Cup why anyone who takes a reasonable perspective of the game of golf would disagree with Mickelson's assessment. It's brave for them to be talking the way they are. That's a ton of propaganda being utilized and all sorts of stuff. I certainly don't see the PGA Tour heading south at all. You've got individuals like Tom Kim coming through, who is the future of our game. Mickelson also stated that members of LIV Golf and the PGA Tour should meet to resolve certain concerns, but that he views LIV as moving higher and the PGA Tour heading south, and I love the side that I ended up on. Now, because the LIV circuit is not officially certified by the OWGR, LIV golfers do not collect points in the OWGR. According to Dave Shedlowski of Golf Digest, LIV's association with the MENA Tour may have been an effort to avoid the OWGR evaluation procedure for qualifying. LIV CEO Greg Norman met with a Republican study committee in Washington, D.C. to discuss the circuit's legality as part of his efforts to establish LIV as a genuine golf organization. According to Emily Brooks of The Hill, Norman got criticism from the conservative caucus since the Saudi government funds LIV. Don't come in here and pretend like you're doing something terrific while pimping $1 billion of Saudi Arabian money and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia into the United States, Texas Rep. Chip Roy said after the meeting. Roy remarked that Norman's efforts were public relations for Saudi Arabia, public relations for LIV Golf. McIlroy has been vocal about Mickelson and other players abandoning the PGA Tour for LIV as LIV leaders continue to strive for the circuit's acceptance. Mickelson was quoted for an upcoming biography by Alan Shipnuck as saying the Saudi government was run by scary people who killed Washington Post reporter and U.S. resident Jamal, known as Khashoggi, and have a bad record on human rights. But joining LIV was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to reshape how the PGA Tour operates. Mickelson's statements, according to McIlroy, were naive, arrogant, egotistical, and uneducated. He did soften his position before the PGA Championship in May. He's made mistakes, and he's had to deal with the repercussions of those actions, McIlroy told Sky Sports. But at this point, it's like, okay, somebody might claim there were some deeds, but they were mostly words, and I believe individuals may be forgiven for their remarks. McIlroy has taken a firm position in support of the PGA Tour. Just moments ago, he and Tiger Woods conducted a players-only conference in which they devised a strategy to enhance prize money. On August 24th, PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan revealed that elite players on the circuit had committed to competing in at least 20 events in 2023 with 12 enhanced tournaments, offering average prize payouts of $20 million. The overall prize payment for the Player Influence Program, which recognizes players with the greatest beneficial impact on the PGA Tour business, will be doubled from $50 million in 2022 to $100 million in 2023. The big question is, was this a reason for Rory to call out Phil Mickelson outrightly? What exactly about being a part of LIV that makes PGA players tense and bothered? You'd have to stop and think about it, wondering if it's terrible to have a breakaway league. In football, there are other leagues in the Champions League, and in tennis, we do have something similar, so what's the big deal? Despite the scathing remarks, Phil Mickelson does not detest Rory McIlroy. The LIV golfer states he respects all golfers, PGA or LIV, and that it makes no difference to him. But that appears to be a different story for McIlroy. He is adamant that the two leagues are doomed to battle one another, creating chaos and insults. So you may wonder whether Rory McIlroy is the devil himself. Now, golf is taking a new turn, and some golfers need more time to come to terms with that, particularly PGA golfers. Many of them believe that LIV golfers should still be banned and made to pay for their sins for neglecting the PGA. But one question we're going to leave for them is it wrong to want more? 2023 will be one hell of a year, and honestly, there will definitely be drama unfolding. But one question we want to know from you guys is whether Rory McIlroy's insults to Phil Mickelson are valid or not. So leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.